Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have the third video in the series Let's Whip Through This, where I choose a whip in one of my books and I do a color along with you guys. So today I am in Vitraux, which is stained glass. This is one of my favorite books. I have a lot done in here, and so I wanted to just add another page. Today I'm going to do this Piglet page to add another completed pages to this book. I have already started with this border and then Piglet with the pinks and stuff. These are AliExpress markers and I'm pretty sure I used like all the colors I needed to, so I didn't grab those. They are a little less good of quality, so I might need to pull them out to do a second coat. But the markers that I am using for the rest of the page are these Guangna and Piglet markers. So I'll try to kind of spread out throughout the page so you guys can see both types of markers at work. So let's get started. Okay, so I zoomed you guys in, so hopefully you can see a bit better. I'm going to start with the lighter color, which is 5, and that is my Confetti 6, this color, from the Confetti series. Let's start. I have a piece of paper on the side that I'm using for like not swatching but like getting this ink going, because some of these tips, it's annoying. If I haven't used that specific color in a while, it kind of dries up and doesn't come out very well. So if I have to keep doing that, that's why. And if I want to fix it, I can exchange like the tip. But if I can make it work, I try to, because you only get a limited amount of replacement nibs, and I just don't like doing that every single time a marker is faulty. You can also run it under water, but sometimes that doesn't even work. So, gosh. This is the bad part about Tule art. Like, I understand when people complain about them. They're one of my favorites, just longevity-wise, my favorite acrylic markers. But, yeah, if they go kind of stale, then you're just going to be working with the marker as you color, and it's a little less enjoyable. But, honestly, it's whatever. How are you guys? You can't answer, but trying to think of things to talk about. I am moving, so that is why my content on both here and TikTok has slowed, or at least I feel like it has slowed. I had to move my desk for showings, my coloring desk. And because of that, I had to take my tripod off of my desk, and for the longest time, I had to keep it off just because I didn't want to keep removing it and putting it back on every single time I wanted to film a video, because we were getting showings like every couple days. And so, yeah, that is why I haven't posted on YouTube in a while. I posted a what did I last post? Gosh. Oh, I think it was a review, a marker review. Oh, it was a Languo gel pen review. Yes, that's what it was. And that was something that I had on my list for a while. But before that, I was in Hawaii as well. So we went to Hawaii for 10 days and it was amazing. Best vacation I've ever been on, as you can imagine. We did not take my son. Would have loved to, but he's at the age where he can't walk. So a lot of our, activities that we were doing were very active, like snorkeling and going to the beach. And he just would not have liked that. I do not think that he would have enjoyed the vacation. So we were able to leave him with my parents and my husband's parents, my in-laws. And that was a huge help. And I think he loved going there and being with them. And he adjusted well to their houses, like for sleep, because that's always the biggest worry is he gonna go down and like actually nap? Or is he just gonna cry and never sleep? So yeah, on that trip, I was able to get a couple pages done, but honestly, I was just enjoying like vegging out in bed. Oh my gosh, this is so annoying. And so sometimes I just didn't feel like coloring. I think I ended up finishing 2 or 3 Disney pages, which actually isn't too bad. Like, that's pretty normal for me. Not normal for when I'm on vacation, but normal on an everyday basis. Okay, apparently this is not a good showing for this Thule art. Because the amount of times I have had to press down and it's still not coming out of the nib. Like, the paint is just welling up on the sides. It's so annoying. Then when I shake it, it gets all over the pen cap, like up here. Anyways, like I said, Hawaii was great and fun, and now we're back packing. So I'm trying to just do a couple videos when I have the free time in between, to try to get stuff done, because gotta keep you guys entertained, you know what I mean? That's the game. Okay, next we're just gonna finish off this outfit, and we have the Thule Art Jewel Tone set. This is 16. Can you see it? I've also not used this color for a while, but you'll see the difference when I'm coloring. I'm not having issues with this ink flowing. So honestly, I feel like it depends on the set, like how crusty or whatever they get, because the jewel tones, I haven't had a lot of the colors like get stocked up on me, even if I'm not using them very often. But what I started doing, so I made sure I wasn't replacing the nib on the same marker every single time, because sometimes it's just like the marker itself is crap, and I don't want to be wasting all of my nibs on one color if, like, I just won't end up using that color if it gets to that point. And I guess I won't until I repurchase the set. But what I started doing to keep track was just keeping a note in my notes app every time I exchange the nib on these. These are the extra fine tip, by the way. Yeah, they're 0.7. What's it called? 0.7 tip. But I keep track, so if I see that one marker is being annoying, I make sure that I haven't already switched it, and if I haven't, then I just switch it. Especially if it's for a bigger page and it's not like a small area. Like, it was okay that the number that I did for 5 was acting up, because it wasn't, you know, a large section. I was able to get through it. So yeah. Langwo came out with, and Guangna came out with some acrylic gel pens, I guess because the Langwo gel pens were a huge hit. So, you know, other brands are trying to get on it, and Langwo like came out with newer ones, but they're more expensive, which is annoying. They're also a fatter like pen, So there's more ink, so I understand that it's more expensive, but it's kind of annoying that they're so much more expensive, like, and they come with 6 instead of 9 pens. So we'll see. I might order 1 or 2 to replace my Language gel pens, but I have so many markers, like, it's bad. So I need to just be content with what I have, because naturally when you enjoy your hobby, you want to kind of experience as much as you can and get, this color is not, I wonder if the paint is not mixed very well. You want to, you know, get the new thing to stay on top of it and see if you like it, but experiencing moving has helped me realize that I need to just chill with everything I have. Okay, so something, let me go zoom. Something you guys may notice is, like, it's stained glass. So there are lines here and throughout the whole thing. Some of them do kind of square off to make it look like stained glass. I have specifically decided, I don't know when I decided it, but on one of my pages, I ended up ignoring the lines on the character, and I thought that they really stood out because of that, and then continued doing the lines for the background. So that's, I think, what I'm gonna be doing for this one as well, just because, yeah, it makes the character pop, whereas the rest of the, you know, background still looks like stained glass. So let's go to, we'll zoom out a little more. You know what? Yeah, let's go to the stained glass section of this page just so we can jump around, have some fun. 9 is a light yellow color, which is my Tule art. This is 3 in yellow. And I've actually used this recently, so the pen, the ink is nice and mixed up. So it shouldn't be too hard. So 9. So for this section, I am going to try to keep the integrity of the lines, because I like to go over at the end of the, when I'm done with the page, I like to go over it with a dark gray and not a black, just to reinforce the stained glass aspect. Oh, my Lanto. This is so annoying. Hold on, let me, you see how scratchy that is? Let me get this paint, or this pen working, and I'll be back. Okay, it's better. It's still not great. But something I noticed, I'm gonna have to come back to that section. Something I noticed with these pens, if it is happening, doing smaller sections helps. When you do large sections, for some reason, I don't know, the paint like can't keep up. But if I keep my strokes smaller, then it looks fine. I swear not all Tule art markers are like this. I'm just apparently picking my crappy ones. But Tule art, if you wanna send me some markers, I will use them. I'll do a review fresh out of the packaging. Tule art markers are actually what got me into acrylic markers, because I bought some random ones from Amazon, but they kind of sucked. Like, they were okay, but I mean, there's only 24 of them, which is hard for matching pages in these books because there's only 24 colors. And as you can see, there are 5 different pinks, 6 different pinks. So, you know, that Amazon pack definitely did not have, you know, more than 2 pinks. So, once I started getting my Tule arts, I started out with the Earth set, and then I think I got the Essentials. I was able to actually complete pages fully with those acrylic markers instead of the water-based markers that I was using before. And then I ended up getting my first brush tip markers were actually the Arctics, and I don't use those anymore because I don't really like the tip. Like the brush is not smooth, kind of smooth like Guangna, and the tips would start to fray and lose their like firmness, and so it was nearly impossible to like get into any small sections, and that made me really mad. Okay, we'll go back to that. Just wanted to hop around so you guys could see different things. I'm going to go to Piglet, and just revamp. Piglet's a boy, right? It's been, since I was a child that I've seen Winnie the Pooh, but revamp his skin because this is just, I want to make it look a little more fresh. I ended up getting my Langlo pens. These are the brush pens. When I first bought them, I thought they were alcohol markers, but they're actually acrylic paint. They're the same colors that their normal brush pen packs are. But I'm just going to go over these because I think it'll look better. I messed up already. And this isn't an exact match. I like the color I already used, but I couldn't find my AliExpress set. I think it's upstairs in my husband's office, and I was too lazy to go find it. I also don't use these very often, these Langlos, because they're not as good as the brush, like the other brush pens. These are like more firm. These actually remind me of the Arctics ones. I think also probably the more I color with this, the more the ink will start, or the paint will start flowing. I hope you guys can see and that this is a good angle. I'm interested to see or hear if anyone else has this book. This is kind of like a, not hidden gem, but like not a book that a lot of people rave about or I necessarily see in finished pages videos. So I wonder if any of you guys have done this page already, or if you've seen someone else do this page. Definitely let me know. I really like this book. This was actually the book that I kind of had on my bedside when I was on bed rest during my pregnancy. So that's why I have so many done, because they're quick. I don't know why, just because they're squares, like the pages are kind of easy to get finished. And this is not my cleanest job. I'm definitely more precise in some of my other books, but for some reason, I'm just a little more free right now. Dang, why didn't I do that part is 2 as well? That's actually what made me notice that I need to go back over these because this 2 was not done. Yeah, I'm getting out of the lines. The other thing that makes this hard is when I'm filming, my phone is like not right above me, but it's above me to where I can't lean over. And in the evening, my eyes are rough, so I like getting close to my page and putting my head right by the page. And I can't really do that right now when you guys are observing. But these pinks look really good, I think. I don't know if I'm gonna go over this rim because this is also a 3. And I think it looks fine. It's okay if one of them, ooh, this marker's nice and pigmented. That is the nice thing about acrylic markers is you can really, okay, that tone of pink is a little off, but it's fine. That's the nice thing about acrylic markers because you can layer your colors. If you did this with water-based markers, you'd have holes everywhere on your page. And that's just not worth it. It's a little extra effort going over things multiple times. Like, I'll probably have to do that for my Guangna. We'll see. So I'll show you guys. Once I feel like I'm done talking and I don't have anything else to say, I think I'm going to try to do a time lapse of me coloring, and we'll see how much I get done of this page. I would love to finish the page tonight, but that doesn't happen very often for me. Even though this is a whip, I'm basically going over this all again anyways. But I am excited to get this one done because Piglet's cute. And there's not a lot of Piglet pages out there, honestly. Okay, let's move on to a more fun section. Let's do this butterfly. Zoom you in. Okay, so this butterfly is also that same yellow, but we'll do this pinky part first because we know that my 16 for the 6 is nice and juiced up, and it's a prettier color. I'm also very excited to post this because I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers. I haven't checked today. I don't like checking all the time. But last time I checked, I was at like 980 something. So this is your reminder, if you're still watching or listening, go ahead and click the subscribe button, because that would be awesome to get to 1,000. Because there's not a ton of colorists out there. Like, I feel like this is a very niche side of YouTube. So honestly, there's not huge room to grow. So 1,000 is like, I feel like it's a pretty big deal, especially since I haven't consistently been posting for, like, it hasn't even been a year. So I don't know. It's just a little goal. And it's free. I remember when I first got on YouTube, like when I got my iPod Touch, I think I was 10, which would be 2010, because I was born in 2000. YouTube was around for what, 2 or 3 years? And I remember subscribe, like, you know, if you subscribe to a magazine, then you have to pay for, like, it's a subscription. And so for the longest time, YouTubers that I would watch would say, hey, don't forget to subscribe. And I thought that meant I would have to pay to watch their videos. And so I never subscribed until one day, one of the creators that I loved watching said, it's free. I was like, oh, perfect. And then I subscribed, and then I went crazy overboard and subscribed to like 100 YouTube channels. It was funny. Okay, got that little boy going. Let's do some blue in this section. The little butterfly catcher. We'll do my Guangna. So this is 822 in my Guangna markers, which is nice because you don't have to prime these. All you have to do is shake up the paint, which I already have kind of started doing. So we're gonna go in the B section. I love these Guangna markers. I think they're great for beginners. There are certain lines actually that I'm gonna leave out, like this line, because I think it'll add dimension if I go over it with my gray. Sorry. Anyways, they're great for beginners because they're not too expensive. Like, they're under, I want to say under 70 cents for, oh gosh, I basically covered that line up. I think I'll remember that. They're basically under 70 cents per marker, I believe, because I just bought a 240 set and it was under $100. So maybe even less than 50 cents per marker, but Yeah. Anyways, if you get even the 120, I would suggest, if people can afford it, the 120, because I think that's a good amount of colors to... Can you even see? I'm so sorry. Here we go. I think that's a good amount of color for people to get for the Disney books. I mean, I always go crazy. Like, they just came out with like a 280 set. And I'm mad because I just got my 240 set, and I can't justify having... I have the 120 set, I have the 168 set, which is the one I typically use, and then I just got the 240 set. And I am going to make a video on that soon. I just kind of need to figure out what I'm going to talk about and like answer questions on it, because I don't want it to be boring, because I'm sure there are a lot of videos out there on that 240 set. Anyways, it just always happens that once I order their biggest pack to get some new colors, they come out with a new one. But I guess that's how luck goes. Okay. All right, this is good enough for now. Last little section I think I'm gonna do before we go to time lapse is this outer rim with the 4s. So my number 4 is this Thule art from the red pack. Did I say number 20? Number 20. So let's see how this one performs. Okay, yeah, that's good. It's very bright, so it'll be like a good little contrast. Sorry, it's shaking. It's a pretty good tripod though, so it evens out quickly. Yeah, this marker is solid. Love that. Oh, but I'm not in frame. Don't you just love when that happens? I'll go up. Or like, yeah, that was a great clip. And then, because I can't see my phone when I'm just sitting, I have to kind of like look up and look up into the screen. Hopefully you don't hear me just breathing. Also, I wish my voice was a little bit more soothing, because then hearing me talk wouldn't be... Like, I don't think I have an annoying voice, but it's definitely not something that people are going to search out my channel and be like, oh my gosh, I love listening to you. That would be great, but I just hope it's not the other way around. And it's like, dang, get to the time lapse. I just want to watch you color type thing. And if that were the case, I mean, you can always skip ahead. But I think just some people enjoy, especially when they first start out, enjoy just seeing the process of how I color, I don't know, the detailed areas. Like, I don't know. At least I liked that with color alongs, like just seeing the different techniques that people used. I learned a lot. But I guess if you want to put this on 1.5 or even 2 times speed, then go for it, because it's going to be a long video. That's why time lapses are nice. Last video I did that was a whip was in my princesses book, and I loved how the time lapse turned out. It was just fun to see my progress happen quickly. Whereas this is a little more, you know, obviously it's real time, so it's slower. All right. Last one. Here we go. So, let's see what I've gotten done since we started. Did Piglet's outfit. We went over his skin, you know, started these little sections, and then we got some of the border going. So, I am going to readjust the camera and do a time lapse. So this will be my outro, I guess. Definitely subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Enjoy the rest of the video. Alrighty guys, here is my completed page of Piglet. I decided to go in with the Thule Art number 8 in the gray set to do my outlines. Here, sorry, let me get it closer, because I thought this page called for a lighter outline versus a darker one, and I think it turned out really well. I outlined Piglet, his butterfly catcher, and then of course this area. Here are my colors that I used and my swatch, or not swatch sheet, but sheet to get my Thule Arts going. So these 3 are Guangna, well, oh, actually, sorry, 5 are Guangna, Thule Arts, all the way up, and then here were the Langua ones that I showed you guys. So yeah, let me show you what a darker outline that I have done looks like. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find it. This one's slightly darker, not as dark. That one I actually did not end up outlining, so that's cool. This one was darker, so sorry. Anyways, and actually in the time span between the first clip and this clip, which is a couple days later, I hit 1,000 subscribers. Woohoo! So thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.